and welcome to another edition of Homebutnotalone. This time we're virtually traveling back to Slovenia, where we will have the pleasure to talk to another talented female CEO, as we'll be chatting with Mateja Lampe Rupnik from Red Pitaya. Hello, Mateja, how are you?
Hello, hi. I'm okay. It's a very lovely sunny day here in Slovenia today, so very nice.
Oh, I envy you so much. In Poland, we have the sun, but it's pretty cold, so I'm not super happy. But at least, you know, Slovenia have the perfect weather.
Yeah, we are close to the sea, close to the Italian border, so it already smells the spring, you know.
Okay, so it's close to the weekend already, kind of in mentality-wise.
Yeah, well, yeah, let's yeah, that's it.
Mateja, Red Pitaya brand is well known among the engineering community, with just your forum having more than 12,000 members. But can you tell us a little bit more about the beginning and what brought you here where we are today?
Of course, gladly. The story about the beginning of Red Pitaya is actually very interesting, and it goes back to 1998, actually, with our founder, Rok Uršič, returning from US, where he was working as an engineer on a particle accelerator. And when he came back to Slovenia, with him, he brought, let's say, a business idea that he started developing in his garage, actually. It was a very startup beginning. And he built up in a few years a company called Instrumentation Technologies, which was and still is a leading provider of beam position monitors for particle accelerators. But you see, the market of particle accelerators, it's a very limited one, let's say. It doesn't allow the growth. So Rok Uršič, together with a group of very fine engineers, in 2013 decided to, and I must mention that this group of engineers also included our current CTO, Črt Valentinčič. They started developing an idea of an instrument that could be sold on, let's say, a more wider electronic consumer market. And this is how actually Red Pitaya was born. It was, it's actually a credit card-sized board that turns your tablet or PC into an oscilloscope, a signal generator, or many other applications that engineers need for their work. So this is basically it. But a very important factor, they didn't go directly into producing the product. They decided to test if the product would be interesting for the market. So they put the idea on Kickstarter. You know about the Kickstarter, right? This was actually one of the most successful stories on Kickstarter in Slovenia. It was a very nice story. They raised $250,000. They started, or let's say, finished the development and launched the production. And in March 2014, almost 1,000 products were shipped to Kickstarter backers globally. So this was a very nice story. Eventually, Instrumentation Technologies made a spin-off company. And which signed their first distribution contracts and so on and so forth. And here we are. So I really love telling this story because it's a great example of innovation coming to life. And I'm especially proud that I was a part of it at the time as a supply chain manager at Instrumentation Technologies. I was coordinating the production of the first prototypes, which were still green, you know, Red Pitaya, now it's Red Pitaya. So it was, before it got ripe, you know, it was green. And I was also taking care of the logistics on the Kickstarter. It was quite an event. We had to ship 1,000 products within a week. So this was also quite
challenging.
Challenging, yes. And it was very interesting. Yeah, so basically, here we are. This is the story.
Yeah, so I'm wearing the green colors for the origin roots of the company then. You know, this is how I should advertise it. Yeah, so I mean, many stories of great companies, Apple, Google, they all started in garage. So it's nice to see an example like that in our region, in our territory. And as you mentioned, you had your way through the supply chain. Now you're the CEO of the company. And that makes me wonder, was it a little bit harder or different to drive this company being a woman in the world of electronics? Is that anything here?
Yeah, as you said, it's now in March, it's going to be a year since I'm a CEO at Red Pitaya. Yeah, thank you.
Congrats.
And yeah, for sure, I cannot say that it was hard for me as a woman. No, we are a great team and we have no gender-related issues. To be even more honest, I was lucky enough in my life to never face any special obstacles because I'm a woman. And I'm absolutely grateful for that. Maybe this is also connected to my upbringing, because my parents had a private business and, they were very equal in taking business decisions. So already as a child, actually gender equality was my reality. I didn't know anything else. Maybe if you're mentioning, let's say, woman problematics, as far as balancing family and work, I usually have a very controversial suggestion for young people, from my experience. Don't wait with having children too long, Me and my husband, we had children early and they grew together, with the career path. So it would be much more difficult to take responsibilities of a CEO with 3 small children as it is with 3, self-reliant young people. So, of course, it's very important to have a good support from my husband. But back again to the young people, just go ahead and have kids early, Not too early, but and as a second thing, you said woman in the world of electronics. I need to emphasize that I'm not an engineer. Okay, so I make sure I understand things to the level that I need, for the sake of my work. But my core knowledge is business, and my core motivation was always, reaching the goals. So I do work with engineers, with extremely knowledgeable and talented people, and I'm really grateful for that, because it's great fun and great joy and a very good relationship, let's say, based on mutual trust. Yeah. What I do miss is to have a little bit more women engineers around. So here in Slovenia, I don't know the details, but I see on the market that these ladies engineers are missing. So things are obviously going a little bit too slow. But I really hope that more ladies will take up this incredibly innovative job.
Yeah, and I fully support that. And I'm happy that there are these actions like Girls Who Code, Women in Electronics, and all that stuff to encourage. And from your case, it's clearly visible that even with having many roles as a mother, as wife, and being a CEO, it is possible. So
it is possible. It is possible. As I said, it is important that the whole let's say, wife-husband relationship works in that respect. But it is possible, absolutely.
Yeah, no, then these are nice, encouraging words for the others out there. So thank you very much for it.
Go for it.
Yeah. So you were talking about, the 1998, 2013, the Kickstarter, but are there any other milestones that you would like the biggest milestones that you would like to mention in terms of the company?
You probably know the phrase that 90% of startups fail, right? So Red Pitaya was a pure startup, and it's a great success story. So its past and its current team members have achieved big things. So if we're talking about the milestones again, coming up with such an innovative idea and realizing it, it requires innovative knowledge, and it requires courage that our founder had. So this is absolutely, again, an important thing. The Kickstarter, again, an important milestone. Then serious business achievement is signing up, distribution contracts like with the big distributors like DigiKey, right? So, so this is definitely also not an easy thing to do, to convince such big players on the market to take your product in the portfolio. And then, keeping a nicely polished product on the market for all these years and keeping the community happy, this is also an important thing. What I wanted to mention here, maybe also very interesting factor, is that a lot of RedPitaya users, come back with additional requests for customization. And our colleagues at Instrumentation Technologies, who are taking care of industrial solutions, we do have a department that takes care of that as well. They take over these customers, and several large names, large customers have ended up in their portfolio this way. So they have managed to solve very complex challenges for them, and they keep returning back. So this child-parent synergy is also a valuable thing worth mentioning, because we should all build on that. This is how we believe, this is how we see things.
Okay, so you mentioned many factors being the milestones, but what about, there are many competitors. As you said, 90% of the startup fails, but there are still other companies that are trying to be somewhere close to the business you have. What would be the factors that differentiate you from the competitors?
Yeah, we do have quite big names for the competitors, but we really do believe that as versatile as RedPitaya is, none of those, let's say, competition products is. We have a very affordable price tag. We are open source. RedPitaya offers endless possibilities, and it can save you, space, money, and resources on the projects. RedPitaya was initially created for hobbyists and do-it-yourself engineers. But actually, with years, we realized that other segments have adopted it very nicely as well. In the past years, we have collaborated with some of the biggest universities in the US, in Europe. And RedPitaya is being used also as a learning tool on universities for electrical engineers and for the students, right? It was quite a big hype around RedPitaya, and still is actually, during the pandemic, because RedPitaya board can be, actually, it's a small board. You can fit it in your pocket. It's portable, and students can use it back at home. So we actually brought laboratories, that were closed during the pandemic and still are actually, to students' homes. So we reacted very soon after the outburst of pandemic, and we said, what can we do to support, the community? So we came up with a new kit, which is called Stay-at-Home Kit.
Okay.
Yeah, it was actually adapted for the remote teaching, and we got a big welcoming reaction back from the market, actually. And for the US market, DigiKey is the exclusive distributor. Yeah, so this was, let's say, we're quite happy that we managed to see this opportunity, which was actually a challenge opportunity, however you take it, and we offered a solution. Then if we go further, RedPitaya is being used also in industry. In segments as aerospace, automotive, telecommunications, and others. And it's, they use it for prototyping, for test and measurement, for automation of, let's say, production processes, or just as a component within a large system. So, the boards are open source, and they allow engineers to let their imagination go wild. So they can do their own programming. They are not limited with software. They have no licenses that they need to pay. So we are very happy that industry adapted this product so nicely. So this is also And overall, we have a big community. You mentioned our forum, and
Exactly.
it's a great knowledge base. If you will Google or YouTube Red Pitaya, you will see people are really incredible with their imagination and innovation. They do incredible stuff with Red Pitaya. We are really extremely proud of that.
No, and again, congrats on this. So I would say the few words I noted here in terms of the differentiation, I would say versatility, quick reaction, quick reaction, portable, open source, and affordable. So I would say these are the really 5 things that make you the true Swiss Army knife for the engineers. So
Exactly.
So congratulations, and I'm happy for the customers to enjoy your product as well. So you mentioned the stay-at-home kit, which is, I think it's hitting it exactly where it should be. So again, many congrats for that. Anything else that we should be expecting in terms of new products, new releases coming up soon, and anything interesting you'll be working on?
Yeah, well,
in the nearest future.
Actually, last year we launched a new product, Signal Lab. This was actually made specifically for more sophisticated users in industry segments. And for sure, also in the future, we want to cater to the needs of industry and academia segments. Our main goal is to understand our customer needs, our customer pains, and build on that. So that we don't come up and invent something out of the blue, but it's really, we want to be sure that we are saving some problems for the customer with our next product, right?
Yeah.
Since Red Pitaya, if you're asking what new is coming, since Red Pitaya is a very reliable product, we decided this year to offer warranty extension. So wow. Yeah, people do use Red Pitaya like for, some of them have, actually all of them, all the Kickstarter users can still work on Red Pitaya. So this is one thing for sure that we need to offer. And we were talking about stay-at-home kit and about the academia market. We are currently preparing loads of teaching material, video tutorials, ebooks on FPGA programming, and everything that an electronic engineer student needs. So currently, this is something that we are really actively working on. We really want to support our customers also with a very, let's say, credible content. Marketing content in our case means projects, learning material, and things that people can learn from and then build on that. And yes, for sure, there are new things coming, but, let's leave it as a teaser,
Of course, something needs to stay a little bit offside on the table to have a big surprise. Exactly. Yeah, I mean, thank you very much. So a kind of short summary from my side is, even if you are, even if you're coming with a dream and you're part of the Eastern European culture, you still can be a very successful company as long as you have the right people around yourself. This is what you mentioned regarding the team. Yeah. And when you are focusing on the customer needs and customer pains, so that makes you drive the let's say the customer coming to you for more products and utilizing this. And then, as you mentioned, video is the key, and focusing on that market makes sense. So I would say congrats, well done. And it was really my pleasure speaking to you. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you. It was really a pleasure, and I wish you all the best with the series.
Same here. Thank you very much. All the best. Mateja. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.